Welcome everyone to Nursing 409, your senior capstone course. This is Nancy Murdoch, and I will not be with you this first week in person, so I wanted to kind of go over a few things about the course. This is a 4-credit course, 1 hour of classroom and 3 hours of clinical. So you will primarily be in the classroom for most of the course classes until you reach the capstone time when you're with a preceptor. After that, you will have everything online. Wanted to kind of go over, because I'm not with you the first week for class, the Blackboard and the syllabus and the schedule. If you have any questions, just please let me know. So as we go, this is in the student view, so I wanted to let you know you would be looking at the class cafe if you have questions about anything in the class. I will be looking at it periodically, approximately every 24 to 48 hours, to see if you have any questions. I also will post different things that are current for you all to learn about. For one example, I did post an Emergency Nursing Association Eastern Carolina chapter meeting that is for next Tuesday, January 22nd, from 1800 to 2000 at the Pender County Hospital. They're going to be discussing strokes. Great topic for all of you guys, especially you all who are going to be on PCU. That it's a great topic to go listen to. The biggest thing about going to that meeting is networking. So if you are considering an emergency department nursing position in the area, you may want to go there just to network. I have had students come back and tell me, hey, I met these people, I ended up getting an opportunity to interview, and I really feel like going and participating in this meeting really helped my chances for securing a job. Anyways, wanted to share that with you. Parking, when it comes time to park for capstone, it's the same place. If during day shift, you will park in the same place you do for clinical, over in the old WAC area, which is Physicians Drive. If you are doing capstone in the evening, nighttime, or after 5 o'clock, or if you are on weekends, you can park up on campus. At this time, it will be in the visitor parking only. Wanted to let you know that there is something about NCLEX board website, and you can obtain some of these things from there. You can send email if you want, right from the direct link there. Wanted to go over the syllabus. So again, 4-credit course, 1 class, and 3 clinical. You have several people in the faculty that are in the course. I am the clinical coordinator and the lecturer, so I'll be doing your classes for you. And I will have 20 of you guys as my clinical people. Heidi Winslow, Carol Highsmith, and Amanda Jeffries are all also in this course and will be having clinical groups. I do have faculty hours if you need anything. I'm usually here on Mondays from 9 to 12. I'm also available if you want by phone or texting or making an appointment. I do really well with text, so and my number is all in there. There are some student objectives that you will have for this course, and some curriculum requirements based upon the Board of Nursing's requirements for you to have a senior capstone experience. There are 5 different learning modules that you will go through once you get to that point where you are doing your clinicals. So in other words, you will not be coming to class, you will be doing specific modules during that time, the last 5.5 weeks of school. The first 4 are discussion boards, and the last one is a final reflective paper. So teaching methods, or some, we'll be having some didactic information. You will have some speakers coming to class, and you will have discussion boards. Grading scale, same grading scale that you have had since the beginning you walked through the doors of McNeil Hall. We round in the same way. This is an overall what your graded assignments are. You're going to be writing your own objectives. You won't be doing that until the last part of the semester, and so we'll go over that in more detail later. Your discussion boards are worth the following points, and you are actually being given points for ATI. So ATI is a little different I have on the schedule when ATI is. I'm expecting you to be there. And basically, when you read it, it's a little bit different. The fact that it gives you a predictor number, it tells you like you have a 95% chance passing NCLEX the first time based upon this score. Or you may have a 90% or whatever. So what you will do with the score that you obtain, you will then look to see what needs to happen. So if it's 95 or above, you get 5 points for coming in and taking the test. You don't have to do anything, and that's it. If you get a 90%, you get 4 points, and there's nothing required after that. An 85% or above, 85 to 90, you automatically get 3 points. And then you have to do 3 hours of remediation and come back and retake the test. If you get a 90% or above, you get 1 point. 84 and below, you only start off with 2 points. 4 hours remediation, you receive a point extra, so making it all of 3 points. When you retest, you get a 90% or above. Down through here, it has general expectations. I want you to kind of like review those. It talks about our late policy, 5% day reduction in your grade when you don't, let us know ahead of time and work things out. It talks about when postings are due. It talks about ATI. So please review all of those little details. And it talks about Safe Assign that you can submit your paper through. We'd like you to submit your paper through for your final reflective paper. Medication administration policy, when you get to the point of being in clinical, big thing is you're going to be doing it under direct supervision. Typically, it's a direct supervision of your clinical preceptor. So that is very important. Dress code, I feel bad that I even have to say anything about this, but I can tell you about once a semester, sometimes more, some very rarely less. I usually get a phone call or an email from, it's usually a nurse on one of the units that says, I saw a student today and I wanted to let you know. So remember, I hate doing it, but I hate telling you that you need to watch, keep your hair up if you have long hair, make sure your tattoos are hidden and you have the appropriate rings on. I think I've said enough. Attendance, you should, if you're not going to be in class, just please shoot me an email so I know that you're okay, everything's good. If you are not going to be in clinical and you have changed your dates, or even if you're sick, please let your clinical instructor know, and also your preceptor, because we worry about you, number one, but we also are expecting you. A lot of your preceptors, their time is important too, and they want to know that you're coming. And clinical faculty do come and visit you sometimes on the spot, and sometimes we'll schedule it. So we'd like to know when you're going to be there. Academic integrity talks about the honor code and disabilities. Please make sure you review that, and if you have any questions, violence, harassment, and additional resources. And the Learning Center is all available there. So all of our policies, academic policies, and what your student behavior is supposed to be. It talks about confidentiality, religious observance, and diversity. All right. With that, let's go back to the schedule. Wanted to look at the schedule. I think it's kind of a sweet schedule. It comes out pretty good. So for the first week, we're not here in person. You're doing this. So this is what you're doing this week. Then for next week on January 23rd, I have one of the recruiters coming in from the local hospital. She's going to give you kind of general tips on interviewing. She will also talk about the local interviewing process, but she will give you some general tips. The priority due date for I think New Hanover is either the 31st or the 1st. So she wanted to come quickly so she could talk about the whole application process. So if you are putting in an application locally, you should feel a little bit better after hearing her next week on the 23rd. Motivational interviewing, it is a style of being interviewed. You can Google it and find out questions for motivational interviewing. I have two managers actually coming to talk to you about what they look for. That's very helpful. what they look for in students and when they're interviewing people, and give you some helpful hints. Okay, on the February 6th, we have an expert panel coming in. So we will have students, ex-students, alumni coming in to talk to you about experiences. It's nothing that's really structured, but it's been very well received in the past. They will give you the ins and the outs of interviewing, taking NCLEX, wherever your focus questions may be. They usually give you helpful hints about capstone, and it's really kind of nice. I know we've got people coming from New Hanover. We've got people coming from as far away from as Duke. Please remember to come and visit that and be in class that day so you can hear more about that whole transition into practice. So we will have ATI on February 13th. Please be there. It will be in the computer lab from 1 to 5. And then ATI for 403, which is Adult Health 2, is scheduled for the 20th. We will not have class for 409 that day. The following week, we are going to go in depth about NCLEX registration and how to go about registering and being prepared to take your NCLEX. So please be at that class. There is a PowerPoint that is on your Blackboard. I will use that PowerPoint and I will go into more detail when we meet at that time. This is the glory day, yay, that most of you, I will say most, typically there is a handful of you that will not know your capstone assignments, but I'm shooting for March 6th for you to know what your assignments are. Rationale for that is I want you to have time before you go on spring break to start getting in touch with your preceptor and figuring out if you can do those times and what your schedule will be. And then hopefully you all have your preceptors done by then, and figured out. But if not, if there are any questions or any lingering problems, we'll have individual time to meet with your faculty on 3/20. So you have spring break. Yay! Everybody always looks forward to that. That's the 9th through the 17th. And then we go online. And like I said, you're going to have 4 different modules that you'll have discussion boards. They will open typically on Sunday. You have to reply by Wednesday. And then, you have to post by Wednesday, and then you have to do 2 replies on by Friday at 12:30. Not 12:30. 11:30 at night. So anyways, there'll be more details to come on that. You have a final reflection paper. That's the last thing you have to do. There's no final exam, and it's due on 4/28. Your capstone should be completed by May 1st, which sounds like a long time away, but let me tell you, it's coming, and it's coming soon. So a little more details about the timing of when things are due are at the bottom here. So there's some documents in here that you have. I'll open up more documents as we go. You've got like your NCLEX time, grading, discussion board time, grading details. You also have objectives and how to write objectives, and we'll talk about that as we get close to starting your capstone experience. I'm not going to go over right now the Focus Client Care Experience packet. This is a packet that you are going to use and your preceptor when it comes time. So you may want to peruse that at this time, but we'll talk about it more as we get close to you starting capstone. There's also a guide to preceptors for anybody who has not done that before. And I think I am going to stop there. When we start our time for being in your practicum, we'll go over learning modules and other things such as that. So for this time, I wanted to welcome you. If you have questions, please let me know. If you need anything whatsoever, I am available by phone. You can text me. I don't always answer my phone because I'm getting a lot of strange phone calls. I'm one of those people getting all these random phone calls. So I usually wait to find out what the message is and make sure it's somebody that really needs something, such as y'all. You're welcome to email me too. So even though I will be at school at ECU that first week, I will be checking on my emails. It's going to be a great semester. Get ready. Put your seatbelts on. It's a little bumpy and fast. So I welcome you all, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.